Hare mana Dinandanandana Oya Charanara Viture Ajahure mana Dinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Viture Durvalabhamana Vajanama Satsange Durvalabhamana Vajanama Satsange Karo he Baba Today Karo he Baba Sindure Ita Tapa Bhatabari Sana Edita Jamini Yagire Sita Tapa Bhatabari Jana Edina Jamini Yagire Vifale Sevino Kripana Dorajana Vifale Sevino Kripana Dorajana Chapala Sukalava Lagire Chapala Sukalava Lagire Dano Yovana Uchapari Jana Hey Teke Achipara Titire Hey Dano Yovana Uchapari Jana Hey Teke Achipara Titire Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala Kamala Haripara Nitire Bajaho Haripara Nitire Ravana Kirtana Marana Vandana Adasevana Daskare Ravana Kirtana Marana Vandana Adasevana Daskare Ujana Saki Jana Atmani Vedana Ujana Saki Jana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasavi Lasare. Govinda Dasavi Lasare. That's right. Son of Nanda. Make one fearless.
Nanda, which make one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly person.
Both in the day and at night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the nine processes of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting these glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and incense, and so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self.
I don't. Okay, so I wanted to comment about this bhajan. Srila Prabhupada appreciated it because most bhajan were just glorifying the Lord. This bhajan is also pointing out the disadvantage of material life, telling us that we don't have a chance to become really happy here. What assurance of real happiness is? We think we can surround ourselves with a family, then we'll be happy. But why are we thinking like that? Bhagavatam says because we're crazy. Cuckoo. A cuckoo person will think, oh, if I have a son, then I'll be safe. No. Yamaraj reaches in, plucks appointed time. Each one of us has only so many heartbeats. We're destined. We should use every heartbeat, every moment in service of the Krishna. Krishna. That way, we can finish up our business here. Go back. Sumati Nandana. Sumati Nandana Brajavadana Gada Gokulara Nakana. Hey, Aswamati Nandana Brajavadana Gada Gokulara Nakana. Gopi Parana Dana Madana Manohara. Gopi Parana Dana Madana Manohara. Kaliya Ramana Vidana. Hey Kaliya Ramana Vidana. Amalarina Amya Vilasa. Amalarina Amya Vilasa. Ipina Purandara Navinana Gadavada Vamsi Vadana Suvasa. Hey, Vipina Purandara Navinana Gara Bhara Vamsi Vadana Suvasa Raja Jana Palana Surakulana Sana Oh Raja Jana Palana Surakulana Sana Nanda Godana Rakovala Hey Nanda Godana Rakovala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Nanda Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rajara Tika Kripa Moya Hey Rajara Tika Kripa Moya I lost it. Haribol, 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 Nita Goda, Haribol. I think I forgot the last one. Shirada Lava, Vindavana Nata Bhara. Shirada Lava, Vindavana Nata Bhara. Bhakti Vinoda Shaya. Hey, Bhakti Vinoda Shaya. Bhakti Vinoda Thakur ki.
Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, the delight of Gokul, Kana, a nickname of Krishna, the wealth of the lives of the gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent.
These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Krishna is the Lord of 12 forests of Raja. He is ever youthful and is the best of lovers. He is always playing on a flute and he is an excellent dresser.
Krishna is the protector of the inhabitants of Praja, the destroyer of various demonic dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaj's cows, the giver of pleasure to the cows, land, and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the butter thief, the beautiful covered boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wanders along the banks of the river Yamuna. He stole the garments of the young damsels of Praja who were bathing there. He delights in the mellows of the rasa dance. He is very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimad Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the shelter and only refuge of Pura Bhakti.
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Vajjana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vajjana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari. Omagana Timirandasya Dr. Sarita Hari. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. First of all, say thank you very much for giving me a nice room, chance to speak. This is the duty of the sannyasi is to travel and preach. So I'm trying to fulfill that in my old age. I'm going to be 84 this year. So I'm old enough to be your grandfather or great grandfather, right? But I somehow, by Prabhupada's mercy, I'm still going. So I want to keep going. And I feel that it's like, most people my age, they start thinking, oh, the best years are past. But I feel things are getting better and better for me. That's why I don't feel old. I don't know, maybe I look old, but I don't feel old because the future is bright. Like a child, they're happy because they're thinking, oh, now I'm going to graduate, then I'll get a house, then I'll be a wife, and then I'll really be happy. But by the time they're 70, they see everything is run through their fingers, and they don't have much to live for. Maybe grandchildren, but I see because of Prabhupada's mercy, I have unlimited field, especially here in India. My gosh, wherever I go, they treat me like I'm some kind of saint or something, which of course is not true. All I am is aspiring to be Prabhupada's disciple. It's not so easy. Disciple means full discipline. Prabhupada once told us, the only qualification I had, I took the order of my spiritual master as my life and soul. Therefore, something wonderful has come out. So we're trying to do that. Prabhupada told me travel and preach. And we were also trying to, you can say, be good representatives of him. We want to keep him in the center. Acharya. Prabhupada told us, keep the Acharya in the center. He's the Acharya. I have some disciples, but I tell them, you make me happy if we glorify Prabhupada. We want to make Prabhupada the most famous person in the world. So that anybody will hear, oh, Prabhupada, oh yes, we know about Prabhupada. So this is how it should be. And it can be like that. We were in the morning walk with Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles, 1975, I think. And coming back in the car, I was in the back with two other sannyasis. Prabhupada was in the front with the driver. But coming back, we came back a little different way. The devotees didn't see us, but they were all coming out on the street to greet Prabhupada. They didn't see that Prabhupada was kind of behind them. And when Prabhupada saw them, so many sincere people coming out on the street to greet him, the Prabhupada said, from deep in his heart, he said, they cannot check this movement. This movement will go unchecked for the next 10,000 years. I was right in the car when Prabhupada said that. All we have to do is cooperate, and then we'll get the credit. Oh, you're the devotees who spread the movement? Yes. We can get some credit. Krishna will be pleased that we glorify Prabhupada, because he's trying to glorify Prabhupada also. So if we assist Krishna in his mission to make his devotee famous, then Krishna will be pleased with us. So again, today's verse, I'm not very good at Sanskrit. Who's good at reciting the Sanskrit? Huh? Okay, I can try. Sanganishta jnana nala vidhusitesha. Is that right? It's there on the board. Asanganishita jnana nala vidhatutas sesha. Malanam bhavat savabhavanana. Atma ramananam muninam anuvarata. Parigunita gunagana parama. Mangalayana gunagana katana nosi. Bolo bolo.
Malanam bhavat sobhavan bhavanam malan
You're as bad as me.
Atma ramanam muninam anavartata bharata Parigunita gunaguna gunagana parama Mangalayana gunagana kathano ase.
Come on, who's there that's good at this? Don't be bashful. Here's a man. You want to speak? No. Huh?
I'll try, Maharaj. Asanga jnananala vidhusheshamalānām bhavatsvabhavanam atma ramanam muninam anavarata parigunita gunagana parama
Mangalayana guna gana kathanosi.
Angangala guna guna. Very good. Anyone else? Matajis? Sometimes the Matajis are very good at this. Give them a microphone. No one's going to try?
असङ्गनिशिता ज्ञानानला विधूतशेषमालनम् भावत् स्वभावनामात्मरमणं मुनीनाम् अनावराता परागुणीता गुणगाना परमा मङ्गलायाना गुणागनो कथनोऽसि.
Very good, thank you. Cinnamon, asanga, by detachment. Visita, strengthened. Jnana, of knowledge. Anala, by the fire. Vidhuta, removed. Asesha, unlimited. Malanam, whose dirty things. Bhavet Svabhavanam, who have attained your qualities. Atma Aramanam, who are self-satisfied. Muninam, of great sages. Anavarata, incessantly. Parigunaita, recounted. Gunagana, O Lord, whose spiritual qualities. Parama Mangalam, supreme bliss. Ayana, produce. Gunagana Katana, he the chanting of whose attributes. Asi, you are. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Dear Lord, all the great sages who are thoughtful and saintly persons incessantly recount your spiritual qualities. These sages have already burned up all the unlimited dirty things, and by the fire of knowledge, strengthen their detachment from the material world. Thus, they have attained your qualities and are self-satisfied. Yet even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. So the priests at the sacrifice, they're surprised that the Lord has personally come. And so they're glorifying Him and with choice words that they appreciate His personal presence very much because it's very rare. Purport, the priests in Maharaj Nabi's sacrificial arena appreciated the personal presence of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and they considered themselves very much obliged. The Lord's appearance is very rare, even for great saintly persons who have become completely detached from this material world and whose hearts are clean due to constantly chanting the glories of the Lord. Such people are satisfied by chanting the transcendental qualities of the Lord. The Lord's personal presence is not actually required. The priests are pointing out that the Lord's personal presence is very rare, even for such elevated sages, but that He was so kind to them that now He was personally present. Therefore, the priests were very much obliged. So this is our goal. We want to see Krishna face to face, but still, even if we don't, we can be successful by taking Krishna's name with devotion and enthusiasm, and Rupa Goswami says, with patience. These qualities have to be there. We have to be patient. We can't make Krishna our order supplier. You have to give me what I want, or no. we should, if difficulties are coming, then we should think, actually I'm such a rascal, there should be more difficulties. But because I'm trying to become a devotee of Krishna, Krishna has kindly minimized them. Otherwise, the tendency is we blame Krishna. I just saw this recently. They're a nice couple. They're friends of Krishna, but they're coming. And they have a 28-year-old son who unfortunately, untimely left his body. And so the husband is tolerating, but the wife is mad at Krishna. In other words, she lost her faith to some degree. Why did Krishna do that? He was a young man, 28 years old, and his future was very bright, and he was a devotee of some kind. Why did Krishna? In other words, it's easy to lose your faith because you're thinking that what Krishna should do. But you can't do that. You have to be tolerant more than a tree and accept whatever happens and say, I don't know exactly how this is happening, but there's no cruelty in the arrangement of the Lord. When we start thinking that the Lord is cruel, then we lose our faith. He's never cruel. Just like Bali Maharaj. He took everything from him, insulted him in front of his wife, but Bali never had a slight depreciation of his faith. And when the Lord was leaving, he was calling out, glorifying the Lord. And because of that, in other words, everybody's going to be tested. Because of that faith, Bali had, so that Krishna became his doorkeeper. Where is he? On the pole star, so Dhruva Loka. Bali has his own planet. So in other words, the point is, whether you treat me roughly in your embrace or make me brokenhearted by not being present before me, still, unconditionally, you're my Lord. We have to come to that point of faith. Because we will be tested. This is Maya's duty. She's meant to test us. Do you want me or do you want Krishna? So when you start lamenting, that means you're embracing Maya. Brahmabhuta prasanadma na sochati na kanchati samasrave bhutesu madbhakta abhate param. Everybody knows that verse? What is it, 1861 or something? What is that? No. What's the number of that verse? Brahmabhuta prasanadma. 1854. Thank you. Yeah, I got ahead of myself. Very important verse. The Krishna is telling us of the qualities that we have to have if we want to render service to him. Brahmabhuta prasanadma. We have to be peaceful. Not hankering or lamenting. Oh, if I only did that. No. We accept whatever the Lord has presented to us. This is our destiny. There's no cruelty. Then, what is it? Brahmabhuta prasanadma. Na sochati na kanchati. No hankering for something. Oh, if I have this, then I'll be happy. No. No. Brahmabhuta prasanadma. Na sochati na kanchati. Samasarvetu. We treat all other living entities fairly. We don't say my camp, your camp, and we hate them. No, we treat everyone individually. According to their own qualities. We shouldn't lump them in. And then you can begin devotional service. Next verse, next line, Samasarvesu bhutesu, mad bhaktim labhate. Then you can become a devotee. We're practicing to become a devotee. Not an easy thing to be a devotee. In the beginning days, some devotees were signing their letter, Krishna's devotee, and Prabhupada saw that. No, you shouldn't write like that. You should write Krishna's servant. That's okay. But being a devotee is not an easy thing. It means you love Krishna more than yourself. So we come, 4 kinds of people come to Krishna, and we're coming in this also. We're coming from the material side. And we have 4 reasons. Some are better than others. We're seeking knowledge. That's appreciated by the Lord. But still, it's not a pure devotee because we want something should come to us. We're demanding something. At the highest level, the devotee doesn't demand anything. He just wants to please the Lord, that's all. His faith is so strong, he knows that Krishna is there. He knows that Krishna will take care of him. He's not worried what's going to happen to him, whether somebody's going to take care of him when he's an old person and so on. He's not worried about anything. But Krishna arranges. Okay? Then, we want to go further. Then we have to tax our brain how to please Krishna. That's why I'm mentioning about Srila Prabhupada. Because I'm 100% sure that Krishna would like to see Prabhupada as the most famous person in the world. So if we help Krishna with that desire, then Krishna will be happy with us. This is very simple. And we don't have to extraneously worry about ourselves. Who will take care of me? No. Just have faith. And Krishna will take care of you. He promises, Kunteya pratijanani namai bhakte pranasiti. My devotee is always under my protection. And so many examples are there. Just like Bali Maharaj. What about Draupadi? So many instances where Krishna personally gets involved to help them. So he'll help us also. He says, I'll carry what you lack. I'll preserve what you have. So we shouldn't be in any anxiety. Therefore, Krishna says at 1866, what is he? Ma suchaha. Means don't worry. But the tendency is to worry. Because material life is full of danger. Danger at every step. And so we're worried. What's going to happen? There's 4 principles, right? Eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. And it says the defending principle or the fearing principle is prominent. Because even we have nothing to fear, but still the thoughts will come. This is our position. We'll be in anxiety. Therefore, this material world is called Kunta. And Vaikunta means a place free from anxiety. Once I used this word, Vaikunta, in front of Prabhupada, and he appreciated it. What it was is, he had just moved into his new quarters in Juhu. Previously, they were staying in the old buildings, and this time I hadn't seen Prabhupada there. So when I came in, this is the first time I saw Prabhupada in his new quarters. I paid my obeisance. I got up and I looked. And I said, Vaikunta. That's how it just kind of spontaneously came out of me, because it was such a beautiful atmosphere. And Prabhupada was sitting there, and I said, Vaikunta. And Prabhupada pretended he didn't hear me. He said, he did. He said, what? I said louder, Vaikunta. Then a big smile. Yeah. I've written a book about my experience with Srila Prabhupada. I can tell you a couple of stories, how he sometimes chastised me and sometimes encouraged me. In this way, somehow I was very fortunate, because after I got initiated, I came to see Prabhupada in New Vrindavan, and I told him I'd like to open a temple in San Diego, California. And Prabhupada said, very good, we need many temples. But then a few days later, I was still there, and a message came from the Grihastha couples in London. 3 Grihastha couples had opened a center there. Shamsundar Gurudas and Mukunda, and their wives Janaki, Yamuna, and Malati. And so Prabhupada sent me there to help them, because they were requesting a brahmachari. So instead of opening a temple, Prabhupada said, we just opened this temple, so please go and help them. So a month later, Prabhupada came, and I was senior brahmachari. So I was given the service of giving Prabhupada massage every day. So I never gave massage before, but he taught me what to do. So after I gave massage the first time, I said, Prabhupada, I'm going to the library today and get a book on massage, because I never gave massage before. And Prabhupada said, not necessary. You just read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will tell you how to give massage. So then I was giving massage, and every day it was so wonderful. I felt all my lust disappeared. Just by touching Prabhupada's body, It's like it was miraculous. I felt so peaceful. So I liked the service, and when Prabhupada was leaving, this was September, he was leaving in December. So I began asking him, Prabhupada, when you leave, can I go with you? So he knew that I wanted to go with him, but he would say, let us see what Krishna wants. He was non-committal. But then up to time come for him to leave, his servant came to me, maybe a week before he was leaving. And he said, stop bothering Prabhupada about coming with us to America, because he's already given permission for one devotee, Upendra, to come to give him massage regularly. So he told me that. And then later that day, I was driving Srila Prabhupada. I had two services, Masoor and the driver. And so just he and I were in the car alone. And I said, Srila Prabhupada, Purushottam, his servant, Purushottam told me that Upendra is going to be giving you massage when you go back to America. So Prabhupada knew I liked that, so I wanted to do that service. So his response to me was utter silence. Just the two of us in the car. He was this far away from me. I spoke very clearly. So when he didn't respond at all, I thought, that's his prerogative. The quality of a Vaishnava is also silent when he wants to be. So I thought, it's true. I won't be able to go. Then I resigned to that. I reconciled myself. Okay, I won't be able to go with him, but that's okay. I still have my service and so on. So like that. But then I thought, the silence is still there. How can I break the silence and let Prabhupada know that I'm willing to stay? I don't have to go with him. I'm not going to twist his arm or something. So I changed it. I said, Srila Prabhupada, I never met Upendra. Is he a nice boy? I thought that way I would let Prabhupada know that I was resigned not to go. And at the same time, the silence would be broken, because it was a kind of a thing as it was. So when I said that, Prabhupada turned to me in the car, and he looked right at me and he said, not as nice as you. Well, right in my heart. In other words, Prabhupada appreciated that I was surrendering a little bit. And that was Prabhupada's mood. Whenever he saw a little surrender, he would fan it. Little spark, he would fan it. He was expert at doing that, encouraging everybody. A little bit of devotional service, he would appreciate. Srila Prabhupada ki. So he did love us. He loves you too, because he loves Krishna. So he loves Krishna's part and parcel. Amsa, we're the particle of Krishna. So Prabhupada loves every living entity. Of course, some he can't help because they're envious and so on. But otherwise, he wrote every letter that he sent, your ever well-wisher. And that was a fact. He had no envy. He had no bad intentions to anyone. He wished everyone well. But again, it's in our hands. We want to be. Our future is in our hands. Because everything is based on desire. We've come here because of desire, and we can go back to the spiritual world because of desire. So it's not sure. All right, anything else? Any questions on the verse? There was another time when I was giving massage. This was early on. Robert had been there maybe a week or 10 days, and he had given we had a big first open program in London. And not mostly, but 50% of the people came were Hindus. From London, a lot of Hindus. And one was interrupting Prabhupada. He was saying, what about Lord Shiva? Why are you only talking about Krishna? Like that. Prabhupada explained, no, everything is coming from Vishnu, and Krishna is the original Vishnu, so he was explaining that even Shiva is born from Vishnu. But this guy didn't like it, so when Prabhupada began speaking again, he interrupted. And Prabhupada got annoyed. And he said, sit down, you are nonsense. But we were surprised Prabhupada was so bold. Because when we dealt with him, he was so humble. So, but I liked it. I liked it that he was fighting, right? So next day, it was a series of lectures. So in the morning, I was giving massage. Every morning, 11 o'clock, I would give massage. It took 45 minutes, an hour. He liked vigorous massage. There's a funny story. One devotee, he told this story, not to me, but to my godbrother, Guru Kripa, that he was giving Prabhupada massage, and Prabhupada said, harder, harder. And again, Prabhupada said, no, harder. So then Prabhupada said, you sit down, I'll show you. So he sat down, and Prabhupada was massaging him vigorously, right? Then again they changed. And then this boy again was massaging. And then Prabhupada said, no wonder your wife left you. This boy, Prabhupada had arranged a marriage with him. Nice girl. But after they were married for a few weeks, the lady left. In Prabhupada's time, in that 3-month period when he was there. So anyway, he liked vigorous massage. That's a little aside. And so I was thinking, I'm getting him in shape for another knockout performance. He was going to speak. And my mood was, you and me, Prabhupada, we could take over the world. And massaging like that. And thinking, puffed up American. And thinking, getting him in shape. And then suddenly Prabhupada said, no! And my hands froze on his body. Then he said with another voice, very innocent, like a 7-year-old child, he spoke from way in his heart. And he said, I am just a humble servant. And I felt so embarrassed. I thought I shouldn't be even allowed in the same room with this person. He's such an aristocrat. And I'm an ordinary Sudra off the street of New York. What to speak of touching his body? I shouldn't be allowed to even be close to him. And there was a throw rug there. So I thought I should go under the rug. So Prabhupada was teaching, because he was the Acharya. He was really humble, genuinely humble. And so he made me humble a little bit. And how was he genuinely? Because when he said, I'm simply a humble servant, he really meant it. Because he's always remembering his Guru Maharaj and Krishna. So in that relationship, he is a humble servant. So when he said, I'm just a humble servant, he was speaking from his heart. Servant of the servant of the servant. So sometimes people say, well, how can we be humble? The question should be, how come you're puffed up? What have you done to be, that you're so proud of yourself? No, this is the quality of every Vaishnava. He's humble. Humble means we don't expect to be honored by others. We've come to this place, we should finish up our business and get out. But if we wait around for honor and get a gold medal and so on, no, we don't want that. We want to just finish our business and go back to the spiritual world. Just like Bhakti Siddhanta. As soon as he created somebody like Srila Prabhupada, he left his body. He was only 62, right? Or 62, 63. But he went back. He knew that Prabhupada was there, and he wants to go back to do his service in the spiritual world. What does he want to hang around here? There's no place for a gentleman. He saw that his own disciples were quarreling over who would have this room in Bagh Bazaar. They just finished and left. We asked Prabhupada also to stay. But Prabhupada said, I'm willing to stay. It wasn't like his spiritual master who wanted to leave. He was willing to stay, but let us see what Krishna wants. He would tell us in the last days. One boy offered to give his youth in exchange for Prabhupada's old age. Prabhupada said, no, we don't want to do anything miraculous. You start making miracles, then people start thinking he must be God. Like the Christians. They think Christ is God. That's a mistake. Christ is not God. He's the Son of God. But God has many sons. But Prabhupada qualified. He said, Christ is not the only son. He's the only obedient son. Prabhupada appreciated Lord Jesus. He's obedient. He's telling thy will be done. That's the Vaishnava mood. To love God with your whole heart, your whole soul, and your neighbor as yourself. That's a Vaishnava statement. So Prabhupada appreciated that. But the followers, they made him God because they couldn't follow. He told them, go and sin no more, the prostitute. But they couldn't do that. So they changed the philosophy and they said, well, we have to sin. But Christ is taking the sin because of his blood and something like that. But no, you have to become free from sin. Each one of us individually. There's not some miracle razzle dazzle and then like, what was it? Ramakrishna gave Vivekananda all his power or something. No, this is all bogus. Not like that. We have to, each one of us individually qualify. Therefore, Prabhupada wanted us to be thoughtful. Brahminical means we analyze and then we're convinced and then we can go forward. We've come like that. So we have to go back like that. By desire. We have one who want to go back. But we get attached to this place we don't really want to. That's the problem. Just like that lady I was telling you. She lost her faith somewhat because she wanted to be a happy mother with her son. And no. Attachment is very subtle. And it's harder for women. They get attached to their children, which is natural. It's nature's arrangement because they have to protect their children. Therefore, they should be guided by the men. I'll tell a story right here in Vrindavan. I was there and I saw that one man would come with his wife and son and for putting the child in the Gokul, in the Gurukul. Boy was 5 or 6. And the mother was there. Oh, my baby, she was crying, holding the child. And the father was smiling. He wasn't mad at her. Why don't you shut up? Why are you crying? No. He knew that that's her emotion. She's not being artificial. She loves the child. She's going to be separated from the child. He's going to Gurukul. So she was crying. That's a womanly instinct. But the father was also smiling because he knew he was doing the right thing, putting the child in the Gurukul. So both their natures may be different. Therefore, in the Vedic culture, the woman is given protection because her sentiment can be exploited by Ravana class men. Prabhupada says like that. No matter how powerful a woman may be by material estimation, still she can be exploited by Ravana class men. And in this world, there are a lot of Ravana class men. So we protect our daughters. We protect our wives. We don't let them go to the discotheque with the girlfriends at 2 o'clock in the morning, like they do in the West. If the wife, I want to go out with my girlfriends, but now it's so late. I don't care. And she goes out. And then the danger's there. How can the husband protect her? So we have a right, the men have a right to control the women to some degree. Not like slaves, but not to protect them. Because of their emotion, they may get carried away. Oh, what's wrong? No. You should follow your husband. Is that bad? You find a good husband and he'll protect you. He won't exploit you. The women's liberation movement has come because of men, instead of protecting the women, they exploit them. So we don't blame the women. It's the men's fault. Therefore, we should train our brahmacharis. You want to get married? You have to be very responsible. Just like my Nanda Kumar, Nanda Dulal. He's my disciple. He's getting married. He has my full blessing. Why not? Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a grihastha. Srila Prabhupada was a grihastha. If you want to be a grihastha, you can. I had it personally, went through with Prabhupada about that. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to get married or not. And Prabhupada said, it doesn't matter. You can be Krishna consciousness from any position. But practically, it's easier if you're a Brahmin. It's simpler, that's all. Like Jananiva said, how is it you've been brahmachari your whole life? He said, I just wanted to keep my life simple. Okay, but some people thrive in a little complexity. So let them get married. We see in Los Angeles, there's so many children were there in Prabhupada's time. They were coming and going. So we're not against children and having sex life or begetting good children. Okay? Maybe I'll stop here. This is I mentioned him, Nanda Dulal. You have to bless him that he gets a good wife. No, he's found a girl, but his mother doesn't approve. You want this?
Hare Krishna. So we are very thankful to Maharaj for sharing such amazing his interactions with Srila Prabhupada. We'll thank Maharaj by once chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So there are some, if we go through Prabhupada's folio, there are some instances where Srila Prabhupada is glorifying Maharaj, and he's telling that he's a very, he's a paka, a very steady devotee. He has glorified Maharaj in, Prabhupada has glorified Maharaj. So we are so fortunate to have Maharaj here. So we have Maharaj has written a book of his interactions with Srila Prabhupada.
Like Prabhu was telling, so it was in the letter to Mukunda, Los Angeles, 1969. Prabhupada writes that, as so far as Trivikrama is concerned, he is a super first class brahmachari. His service attitude, his submission is very nice, although he is still a new member. And then in another letter to Shatadanya, Bombay, 28 March 1973, Prabhupada writes, I am very much glad to hear that you have decided to return Japan and help Trivikram Maharaj. I have heard from Trivikrama that they are distributing large amounts of BTGs there in Tokyo, 500 to 1000 per day. And once Prabhupada has made a very famous statement about Maharaj, that he will go wherever I send him, always. Hari. So Maharaj has had quite a bit of opportunity to serve and associate with Srila Prabhupada, and as Maharaj was sharing so many exchanges during the lecture, so all such exchanges were being put in this wonderful book titled Priceless Moments with a Pure Devotee. So this book contains Maharaj, how he has come to Iskcon, how he met devotees, and how he met Srila Prabhupada, and all the exchanges, services, and nice pastimes which have profound instructions. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all devotees to get this book for yourself, and Maharaj will personally sign this book. This book has been well received all over the Iskcon by so many senior Vaishnavas, like Maharaj's god brothers, like Jayapataka Maharaj, known as Radhanath Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, Satswarup Maharaj, Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, Shrutakirti Prabhu, Harishauri Prabhu, Anchagowda Prabhu, and so on. The list goes on. So I request all the devotees to kindly utilize this opportunity. This is an amazing book. You can know more about Prabhupada and Maharaj, and how Prabhupada was like very sweet in person. So we charge a donation of 200 rupees. So I don't think that's yeah. So it's a priceless, but yeah. So all devotees, Prabhus and Matajis, you can come in person and get it collected from Maharaj. You can give cash or pay for this QR code as well. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so devotees can come from here and they can accept the book from Maharaj hand. Matajis also can come. And then yes.